got big boobs because you're fat. Plus size people or fat people have got bad hygiene.
Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. But if you're new here, then it duck. My name is Siobhan and I make videos every single week all about beauty, fashion and shopping. So if you do like the sort of content, then don't forget to subscribe just down below. And without further ado, let's get into the video. So for today's video, I thought that I would do a video that is similar to the quick fire assumptions video. And this, I wanted to basically base it off plus size myths and plus size assumptions of people. Not so much answering questions, but I'm going to be basically saying all the assumptions and the plus size myths that I've heard throughout my lifetime, and there's quite a few. So I've got my list here that I've had. So the first one I've got is you've only got big boobs because you're fat. I heard this in school from someone. I'm obviously not going to mention any names, but this one always springs to mind. It has nothing to do with because you are bigger. Literally nothing. The breast tissue is a completely different tissue than in your stomach. They are two separate different things. I have seen a lot of people that are big that have small boobs and people that are slimmer with big boobs. How does that contradict? Because you're fat, you've got big boobs? No, that is not true in the slightest. It just depends on whether you inherit it or your genetics, whether you're just inclined to have big boobs or small boobs or whatever. But either way, it's not because you're fat. The next one is, which winds me up, is plus size people or fat people have got bad hygiene. No, not in the slightest at all. If you know me, then I am the most cleanest person you'll ever meet. I am literally within myself. I am very clean. I cannot go to bed without having a wash, whether that's a bath or a shower. Like, I will not put pyjamas on if I haven't had a wash. And yeah, you know, my house is very clean. I'm a clean person. It just depends on you as a person. Doesn't mean because you're fat, you're clean. Doesn't mean that you're fat, you're unclean. It depends on the person themselves. It doesn't mean that because you're fat, you're unclean. I just think a lot of stigma is around that the fact that because you're fat, you're unclean, and it's not true, or you've got bad hygiene. I am clean. Like, I am obsessively clean within myself. I don't know why this is red. I'm a very, very clean person, and again, like I say, if you know me, you know how obsessed I am with being clean. I can't stand not being clean. So yeah, that again is out of the window. That is not true. The next thing is you're lazy and you eat all day. No, I'm not lazy. I am in no means lazy. Everybody can be lazy in their own ways, but because I'm fat does not mean I'm lazy, and I do not eat all day every day. I do not gorge. This as well gets me because it depends on your metabolism as well and how fast you can burn food off. Again, it doesn't matter whether you have a low metabolism or a high metabolism. I don't sit and eat all bloody day because I'm fat. You know, it's nothing to do with that. One, it's probably to do with my genetics. You know, most of my family are big, and that doesn't mean that I sit and eat all bloody day. And it's a load of crap. Now, this stigma comes from programs that basically promote the fact that big people eat all day, like the 600 Pound Life. There's a few other programs as well that I've seen basically say that people like me eat and sit all day eating, and it's not true. Like, it is not true in the slightest. There is days, I admit, there is days when you just want to gorge on everything, but it's not every single day. And I think that people need to realise that because you're fat doesn't mean you sit and eat all day, because that is not true. You know, there's other things to be doing than sitting down and eating all day. The next one is, right, this gets me all the time, and I've seen this a lot of the time. It says, you can't be pretty or attractive because you're fat. Why is my answer. Why not? Why can't a person that is bigger be pretty or attractive? There is lots of people out there that like and prefer bigger women. I'm not saying that everybody prefers that, because it's not. Because if everybody preferred the same thing, it'd be boring, you know what I mean? So yes, there is people that don't like plus size people or are attracted to plus size people, but there's many people out there that are, and I don't see why you can't be attractive because you're bigger. Why can't you be? People just are stupid, you know? People are stupid. I don't agree with that. I'm not tooting my own horn or anything like that. I'm not saying I'm like pretty or anything like that. But it doesn't matter whether you're skinny, whether you're thin, whether you're coloured, whether you're white, whether you're yellow, brown. It doesn't matter, you know, whether you've got white hair, whether you've got brown hair, whether you've got blonde hair. So what? Somebody is going to prefer you how you are. It doesn't matter whether you've got anything different to anybody else. There's always going to be somebody that likes you how you are. Most of the time it's not about looks, it's not about how you look, it's about what's in here that matters, and about how you come across to that person and how you feel towards that person and how you act in your self. I say that mostly personality is a big one. If you're not attracted to someone straight away, but then you start to get to know them, you can see that their personality matches yours. That's how you start to like a person. I don't care what anybody says about looks. Yes, looks, you have to be attracted to a person straight away or in a wise, but I think you fall for somebody more when you start to get to know them and start to get to know the personality and how they are. You know, they might be the most attractive person in the world but have the most ugliest personality. No, that's not how I work. I don't work like that. So looks aren't everything, and it doesn't mean that because you're fat you can't be pretty or you can't be attractive. So let's push that out of the way. Right, the next one is, I've seen this, now I'm not saying I am because I'm not, but this is what I've heard as well. I think my mum has said this once, that it's harder for plus size people to get pregnant. I don't believe that, because I know a couple of people that are bigger that have had kids and they've fell pregnant quite easily. I don't think it's got anything to do with because you're bigger. Now there's going to be a lot of people that's going to be like, no, that's not true. It is true that because you're bigger you can't fall pregnant quicker, blah 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 blah. It just depends on your body. It depends on whether your body is fertile enough to be able to produce it and make the baby, or whether, you know, I don't know, I can't really explain that. It's just like, it's just a lot of people say that because you're fat you can't produce a baby as faster as a skinny person, but there's loads of people out there that struggle to get pregnant that are slim. Why does it matter? If you have a problem with getting pregnant, it's not because you're fat, it's because of other factors, maybe like do with your ovaries or something like that. So yeah, it's not, I don't believe it's anything to do with because you're fat. There is a lot of things that say because you're fat it causes this, because you're fat it causes this, blah 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 blah. Sometimes they have no evidence and I don't believe it at all. I just don't. So yeah, that's my rule on that. Okay, this one agrees with me to a T, because I used to get this in school. So PE. Now PE is a big thing, especially when you're bigger. People think that you can't do that because you're fat. You can't play that because you're fat. Why? When I was in primary school, I was one of the fastest runners. We had sports day and there was this competition, running competition, and I ended up coming second place, and it was like literally this close to winning. I enjoyed PE as a kid. I loved the sports. I loved badminton, rounders, basketball, football, and I would literally try any sport at all. But my favourites were badminton, basketball, football, rounders. Rounders were my favourite because of the fact that you hit the ball. And I used to love it. And I just think people thought, oh, you can't do that because you're fat, or you can't run very fast because you're fat. If I hit that ball, I used to hit it miles out. So I used to didn't even have to run. But I would do if somebody got it, there was quite a fast runner that was coming towards that post, I would leg it. And I loved it. I love sports. And again, we used to do dancing and trampolining. Just a lot of people used to think you can't dance because you're fat. Why? Just tell me why. Why do you think because we're fat we can't dance? Just tell me why. There's a lot of athletes out there that have the bigger sizes. They can do it. So it depends on whether you enjoy it. If you don't enjoy a sport, you won't do it anyway, and if you do enjoy it, you're going to carry on, you're going to enjoy it, and you're going to do it whether you're plus size or not, you know. And I used to get as well like, oh no, you can't do this, can't do that. If somebody says to me you can't do something, I will do it, and I will prove them 100% wrong. I can do it, because I'm very competitive in that sense, so I will prove somebody wrong if they say I can't do something. There is sometimes when I can't do something, I admit that I can't do it, but I'll have a bloody go. And every time I used to do it in school, people used to look at me like, oh my god, how can you do that? It's about rhythm, and it's about, you know, doing it to the beat, whether you're big or not. If you can get that rhythm going, you can dance. And then the last one I have is you can't wear colour. I haven't got the brightest colour clothing on right now. I've got me blue spotty play suit on. However, I never used to wear colour when I was younger because I was a little bit more covered up. I didn't like showing the top of my arms. I didn't like showing this area at all. Now I don't really give a toss. I'm not really bothered anymore. I used to be bothered, but I'm not. But again, why can't you wear colour? Because it shows your shape up. Not if you get the right size of clothing. Not if you get the right size. It doesn't show your shape up. You know what I mean? And even if it does, and if it bothers you, you can see somebody else's shape. Who cares? You know, that's up to them. But for me personally, I don't like showing my shape in a dress or shape in like a tight fitted clothing. But I can still wear colour if I wanted to. I have a bright yellow dress. I have a bright yellow top with butterflies on. I've got red things now. You know, I've got more colour than I ever did when I was younger. And I think it suits my complexion. It makes my face look a bit more alive because I'm very pale, as you can see. But I think colour definitely radiates my skin a little bit and makes me look like I'm alive. So yeah, I don't see why that's a problem. I don't see why we can't wear colour. And it does bug me with some clothing brands, and when they advocate that they do plus size clothing, they only show black clothing or dark clothing, and I'm like, why? You know, why can't we have just the same amount of colour as what somebody else that's a little bit smaller? Not everybody wants to sit in black clothing all day long. Yes, black clothing is my favourite, but sometimes I want to venture out and have a bit of clothing, you know, have a bit of clothing on, obviously. Have a bit of colour on my skin, you know, show a bit of my colour and my radiance in my face. And I don't see why we can't wear colour just as much as somebody else that's smaller. I just don't see why we can't, you know. Now, as a brands are coming out, they are coming out with more colour in plus size clothing, but I still feel like when a smaller brand advocates for a plus size person, they do tend to go for the blacks, the greys, the dark blues, because I suppose it's the easiest thing that they can do. Again, we don't all want to sit in black all day long. We want a little bit of colour in our lives. So I just thought I'd have that little bit of a rant and do a little bit of a assumptions video on plus size people. And I just wanted to say that, you know, because you're plus size doesn't mean you're not as good as anybody else. You are just as good as anybody else, if not better. That's what I always got told. So yeah, you've just got to learn in yourself what looks good on you, what you like about yourself. Again, not everybody likes everything about themselves, and if you do, then I think you're telling a little bit of a lie there, because not everybody has everything that they like about themselves. There is still things that people don't like about themselves on their body, whether you're thin, whether you're black, whether you're white, whether you're fat, whether you're thin, doesn't matter. Everybody's got them insecurities, and I think that a lot of people think plus size people are very insecure. So are people that are thinner, so are people that are fatter. It doesn't matter what you are or what you look like. Everybody's still got that insecurity about themselves and what they look like. Yeah, has nothing to do with size at all. I just wanted to put this video out there because obviously I'm plus size myself and I do a lot of plus size fashion and stuff like that. But I just want to say to the people that out there maybe are listening or watching this video, that you are just as good as anybody else. It doesn't matter that you're bigger. It doesn't matter. You know, not everybody's gonna like you, not everybody's gonna want to talk to you, you know. You can't please everybody, but there'll be people out there that will like you, that will not care that you're big. And I think that sometimes it just takes a long time to sort of process that in your head. Yeah, so if you want me to do any more videos like this, talk about plus size things or plus size stuff in general, then let me know down below, because I will. And yeah, so if you did enjoy that video, please give it a big thumbs up, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.